Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to solve the paper that came in 2022 Integrated Science. This is the paper that came in 2022 Integrated Science. As you can see, this is 2022 examination Integrated Science for external. If you for internal, not external. So if you want to check the video on Science 2022 external, there is a video on our channel. You can check the video on our channel. It's there. So this is the paper they wrote, the internal candidates. So we are going to revise this paper together from question 1 to the last question. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go through the instructions. I'm sure you are very conversant with the instructions. If you are not, please you can check on other videos like the one I did 2022 external. I looked at instructions in intensive, I explained in details, so you can check on those. Otherwise, let's go to question number 1 of section A. Now, as you can see, section A carries 20 marks. So this paper, the entire paper is 80 marks. As you can see here, it is 80 marks. So section A will carry 20 marks, and that means section B will have 60 marks. Okay, so the instruction for section A is answer all questions, mark your answers with a cross on the answer grid provided in the answer booklet. So that means by this stage you have taken out the answer booklet and you have written your examination number, the school center number, and the code of the school. Okay, once you have done that, then you can come now to the actual question. Okay, so don't write your name on the answer booklet. Okay, so we come to question number 1. Okay, so once I've done that, you come to question number 1, and you only come to question number 1 if you are told to start. Okay, so question number 1 is which reproductive organs in human beings produce hormones that start with action changes during puberty in boys and girls. Okay, so the organs that are responsible to produce hormones in boys is testes, and in girls it's ovaries. So the correct answer is A. Okay, so B is not correct because of the oviduct. The oviduct is just the passage of the ova. So when the ova is produced by the ovaries, it will go through the oviduct. This urethra is just the passage of urine. Cervix is the entrance to the uterus, and it helps to avoid miscarriage. So like I've explained for those, but these two, testes and the ovaries, these are responsible for producing hormones as well as sex gametes. In boys, testes will also produce sperms. In girls, ovary will also produce ova. Okay, now let's go to question number 2. The following are the organs in female reproductive system of the human being: uterus, cervix, oviduct, vagina. Okay, so now they're asking us to which order shows the correct sequence of the movement of the semen after ejaculation to reach the site of fertilization. Okay, so what we can do is the site of fertilization is oviduct. So first of all, when someone is having sex, the penis of a man will be inserted into the vagina. So that's where the ejaculated sperms are disposed, in the vagina. So the vagina will be the first site for the sperms. Now, when the sperm when they start moving, the first destination they will reach is the cervix. So cervix is going to be the second point the sperms will reach. Then from the cervix they will go into the uterus. Okay, so the uterus is the third point, and then afterwards, after passing through the uterus, then they'll reach the oviduct, which will be number 4. Okay, so this is how they move. So they move from the vagina to the cervix, from the cervix to the uterus, uterus to the oviduct. Okay, so meaning when we look at the way we have put the numbers, so we know number 1 will be 4. So any answer that starts with 4, it's here. It's the only one. So just like this, you can even get the correct answer. So when you look at that, like I explained, from 4 it goes to cervix, which is number 2. Then from cervix to uterus, which is number 1. Then 3 which is the oviduct. So the correct answer is D. Okay, the correct answer is D. Okay, so number 2, the correct answer is D. We go to question number 3. Which of the following diseases is not caused by nutritional deficiency? Okay, the disease that is not caused by lack of nutrients in the body. So when we look at anemia, kwashiorkor, and marasmus, these are diseases that are caused by um, nutrition deficiency. But when you look at malaria, malaria is caused by a bacteria called Plasmodium, and it's transmitted through a female mosquito called Anopheles. So this is the correct answer, C. Malaria is not caused by lack of food nutrients, but it is caused by a bacteria. Okay, so we go to question number 4. Question number 4 is the many type of pollution caused by uncontrolled disposal of garbage in town is called. So it is going to be, okay, the main, so that one is going to be B, which is land pollution. Okay, it's going to be land pollution. Land pollution is caused by uncontrolled disposal of garbage. When you talk about garbage, you are talking about dirty. Throwing dirt anyhow will definitely cause garbage. Land pollution, sorry, before it even causes air pollution. So you should also know that throwing garbage anyhow will also cause air pollution. However, the first pollution is land pollution, and with air pollution it depends with the kind of garbage you are throwing around anyhow. We come to number 5. The term phototropism refers to the action made by a growth of a plant in response to. So photo, okay, photo means light. So when the plant is growing towards light, then this is the response, which is called phototropism. Okay, so the correct answer is C. Now A, which is gravity, this is the response towards the earth. Okay, so gravity, this is towards the earth. So this is the response is mainly with the roots respond to gravity. Heat, water, that is a response towards what? Water, which is also called hydrotropism. Hydrotropism. Okay, very good. So we go to number 6. Okay, question number 6 is the following diagram shows an illustration on changes of state in matter. So what we need to do is we need to study this diagram from here up to here. Take note of the numbers. You can see 1, then we have 2 going back, then we have 3 from this side going this side, and 4 like that. So the question is, which energy changes correctly occur at 1, 2, 3, and 4? So when it comes to 1, what is happening? 1 here. 1, we are seeing this is solid. As you can see, the particles are closely packed, and then it changes. It goes to this. This is becoming now liquid. So the change of solids into liquid is called melting. So definitely the answer is going to be C. We don't even need to go any further. Even in an exam, you can do this. As long as these are wrong, then this which I started with this is correct. So we shall go through just for the revision sake. So this is melting. When a solid melts, it becomes liquid. Now this time the liquid is changing into solid. This could be called freezing or solidification. So as you can see, 2 is called freezing, or sometimes it can also be referred as solidification. Okay, now we come to 3. The gas is changing into liquid. This is condensation. Okay, this is condensation. Okay, if it was changing, the liquid changing into gas, that could be evaporation. Now since it's changing from gas to liquid, that is condensation. Then number 4, we are seeing gas changing direct into solid without passing through liquid. So this one is called sublimation. Okay, sublimation is the change of matter from solid straight into gas. Okay, it doesn't pass through liquid stage. Okay, we go to question number 7. Question number 7 is calculate the weight of a 40 kg object on earth given that acceleration due to gravity is 10 newton per kg. The weight is, so what we need to do here is we just need to multiply 40 kg, okay, 40 kg, okay, times 40 kg times 10 newton per kg. This is acceleration, this is the gravitational acceleration. So what we can do is we just concentrate on this. So I'm going to say equal to, okay, so we just concentrate on 40 and 10. So we ignore the zeros first, then we multiply 1 by 4 will give us 4. Okay, then how many zeros do we have in these numbers? We have 2 zeros, so we're going to put 2 zeros here. That's the easiest way you can multiply numbers that ends in 0. When you see numbers that ends in 0, you just know that you ignore the zeros, you multiply, then you come and you just add them to the product you have gotten. Now this is per kg. So what is happening here is like this. Before I want to identify the unit, I'll put this side. Although the units are already given, so I can pick the answer, which is D. Now, however, for revision's sake, I'll tell you how we get rid of kg. So what happens is, like, let me just concentrate on the units, which is kg. So what happens is we are multiplying kg by Newton, okay, Newton over kg, okay, Newton over kg. So what happens here when you're multiplying this, it's more or less like here there is 1 here. Okay, so what we can do is like we divide closely like this. So we say we divide this and we cancel this because they are the same. So meaning when we have this, we can say this into this, it's going to give us n. So that's how we have n as a unit remaining, because this and this has cancelled each other. Okay, so if we divide n divide by 1, we still get n. That's why I've put n there. Okay, so sometimes you don't even include the 1 here, you just cancel this as long as they are there. That's why the answer is 400 Newton. I was doing this for the sake of revision. Okay, now let's go to okay, let me just remove this so that I hope you have understood. For those who haven't understood, please make use of the comments. We'll be very glad to see people commenting, and we'll be ready to answer your questions. Okay, so the question, which is number 8, is the following diagram shows 4 different liquids, each of mass 10 grams, but having different volume. Okay, so the following diagram shows 4 different liquids, each of mass 10 grams, but having different volumes. Okay, so we have these. You should pay attention to this. So we can see that there is liquid 1, liquid 2, liquid 3, liquid 4. And when we talk about volume, we're talking about the size. Which one is okay, which container has a lot of the liquids, which one has more liquids than the other. You can see that this one has more, followed by this one, then this one, then this one has the smallest amount of liquid, the volume. Okay, so now the question is, which of the liquids has the highest density? Which of the liquid has the highest density? Now, as you can see, the mass is the same. All of them, the mass is the same. So that means the heaviness of these is just the same. Now, if the heaviness of these is just the same, so which one has got the higher density? So now we can see that density is the amount of substance in an object. So when we say density is the amount of substance, yes, per meter squared, or per unit. Okay, so we can say this one is it has less density. That's why you're seeing it's many. These things, they are not heavy, but this the liquid, this one is heavy. Okay, this one is light, this is heavy. So which one is this? Seems to be heaviest here. Okay, if the same volume is put. Okay, so for instance, if we can fill this up to 15 and this up to 15 and this up to 15, you see that this will be more heavier than the other. Okay, so now what is there is if 10 is the same, if the mass is the same, that means the density should be the one which is the factor. Okay, this should be the factor if the volume is different. So this one has got higher density, so the correct answer is B. I don't know if you have understood, but here when the mass is the same, that means the other factor that will explain why the volume is less while the mass is the same is the density. So this liquid has got higher density than this one, and this liquid has got higher density than this one, and this liquid has got higher density than this one and this one. But this liquid 2 has the highest density than all the other three, and this one has got higher density than the liquid 3 and liquid 1, but liquid 2 has got the highest density. Its density is higher than liquid 1, liquid 3 and liquid 4. Okay, so the one which has highest density is 1. Oh, sorry, it's 2. It's liquid 2. Okay, we go to the next question. If you have questions, you can ask in the comment section. Otherwise, we'll also be happy to see you people telling us where you are watching us from. Please let us know where you people are following us are coming from. Okay, so we come to question number 9. The diagram shows an experiment on heat movement. Okay, the diagram shows an experiment on heat movement. Okay, so we need to study this and also take note of the letters and everything that is here. Okay, so we can see that there is also current in this liquid. Okay, so we can, while the question is what type of heat movement occurs at point G and H? So point G, this is the anode and this is the liquid. Okay, and this is the current. Okay, so what is happening here? Heat travels through the liquid using convection. So these two answers are probably going to be, one of these two will be correct. So heat will travel through convection, then when it travels through the solid object, it will travel through conduction. So the correct answer is B. Okay, the correct answer is B. We go to question number 10. Okay, question number 10 is the diagram is on an experiment with right rays. Okay, so I've got incident ray, we have got normal ray, and we have got normal there, and we have got reflected ray. Okay, so here we have got 50 degrees, and here we have got I, and here we've got R. Okay, so we are asked what is the value of angle R. So we need to find the angle of this. Okay, so now since this light is just reflected, that means this angle and this angle is going to be the same. It has, the light has hit on the flat surface. There is no refraction that is happening. It's just reflecting because it has struck on the flat surface. That means what will happen here is this angle will be equal to this angle, therefore this angle will be equal to this angle. Now when we put these two angles together and these two angles together, you find that from this to here it's 90 degrees. Now if this is 50, okay, if this is 50 degrees, then the difference of 90 and 50 is 40, therefore the degree of R is going to be 40 degrees. Okay, it's going to be 40 degrees. Okay, so the correct answer is B. Unless if you have got questions, but otherwise those are the answers. We can go to question number 11. Please share with us your location, where you're watching us from, and we'll be glad to respond to you. Okay, we come to this one. The diagram shows a section of the heart, human heart. Okay, so the question is identify the part labeled I in the diagram. So they want us to find this part labeled I. Okay, so this part is called bicuspid valve. That is bicuspid valve. I have always present this word and try this one. They have always presented me with challenge in terms of pronunciation. Okay, but that is bicuspid and this is tricuspid. Okay, valve. So the correct answer is bicuspid valve. Okay, now we can go to the next question. So before we go to the next question, let me deal with this. Okay, we go to the next question. The next question is question 12, which is 12. Which human activities presents a very high risk of spreading human deficiency virus HIV and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome AIDS? Okay, so which one among these which are presented here, which one is present high risk of transmitting this HIV or AIDS pandemic? So we can say that the activities that present this, the most one which is the highest is engaging in unprotected sex. Okay, let me talk about this. This is the correct answer, engaging in unprotected sex. But for blood transfusion, unless if it's done where they are not professionals, but if they are professionals, most of the time the blood is screened. During circumcision, most of the time the tools that are being used can be those tools that they use once and they get rid of them, or sometimes if they are using the same instrument on different people, they usually sterilize the instruments so that if the instruments were contaminated, will be made clean and will not be contaminated, therefore they won't carry any HIV virus. When it comes to sharing sharp objects, this one is nowadays with the way people are sensitized, it's not common. The only common activity we are seeing around is unprotected sex, and I can't say we are seeing around. I'm seeing a lot of youths who are actively involved in sex. They are doing this for different reasons, others for money, others for pressure, others to prove that they love somebody. So this has been a challenge. So if we can abstain, there will be no much spread of HIV or AIDS. Okay, poverty will always be there, lack of money will always be there, but let's be more wise as we make decision. 5 minutes shouldn't take your life, or even if it's a pressure of 5 minutes, we need to. And you don't have to say, how am I going to survive if I do this? Please, there is God in heaven who comes and as long as you put your effort, you work extra hard, there will be a way to move around. Okay, if it's too much, you can even still talk to people. You can talk to 20 people. Among the 20 people, there will be one who will be kind to help you. Okay, so engaging into sexual activities in order to survive, it's not a right call. Okay, if you are a parent or something like that, unless you are just selfish, you are thinking about yourself. But if you can think about people who loves you, those people around you loves you, they will really be devastated if they found that you have this or you have died from this disease. They will be devastated. So please take care of yourself. We love you, and make sure that your future is bright. That's why you are watching Easy Learning Z. Remember, our motto is the future is bright. Doesn't matter how much problem you go through, the future will always be bright as long as you make right choices now. Okay, so we go to question number 13, which is which of the following are used to treat water at a water purification plant? Okay, chlorine and desalination, no. Chlorine and sand, yes. Okay, desalination and precipitation, no. Precipitation and sand, no. Okay, we go to question number 14. Okay, question number 14 is which statement is correct about the importance of photosynthesis to the atmosphere? So it helps to add nitrogen, no. photosynthesis doesn't add nitrogen, and where? Okay. B, balance carbon dioxide, yes, somehow. And C, remove nitrogen, no. D, remove water vapor, no. The correct answer is E, balance carbon dioxide. What happens is animals breathe out carbon dioxide, and trees get breathe in carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is used for photosynthesis, and later on the tree produces oxygen. So the purpose of photosynthesis is to balance carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Okay, we come to number 15. Let's go to question number 15. Question number 15 is, what will be the product of a chemical reaction between sodium chloride and silver nitrate? So you can see these reactant, they have got 4 components. Okay, this element has got two elements, and this has 2 elements. So we come to A, silver chloride and nitrogen. So you can see only 3 elements here. So that is, this answer can't be correct, because it should tell us where what is missing here is sodium, where sodium has gone. Okay, and here we have got silver chloride and sodium chloride. So this one should also tell us where nitrogen has gone for nitrate. Okay, so here we have got sodium nitrate and chlorine. Where is silver? This silver, where is it gone? So you can see the only answer that has got for all the elements in here is D, which is sodium nitrate and silver nitrate. Now when you look at this, they have just swapped their last 9 elements. Okay, so that is the correct answer, D. Okay, unless if you have got questions, I will be able to respond to you. We go to question number 16. Question number 16 is the diagrams show experiment on right filters using lay boxes. Okay, so these rights are in the lay boxes, so we need to start them. So you make sure you pay attention to the color of the bulb and the filter. Okay, so as you can see, the color of the bulb is red here, and the filter is red. Okay, here the color is blue and the filter is orange. The color of the bulb is blue and the filter is orange. Here the color of the bulb is white and the filter is green. So the question is, what color would be observed at the position 1, 2 and 3? Okay, so we have got this is the position 1, and this is position 2, and this is position 3. What color are you going to see that will come out of the color that will come through the filters? Okay, so let's come to the answers. So we have blue bulb and lady red bulb and red filter. So what color will come out of this? So this, it should be red. Okay, so this is a red filter and red bulb, then red will come out. Okay, so between C and D there is one correct answer, and here that will come out blue bulb and orange filter. Let me see the combination. Blue cannot pass through orange and remain blue. Okay, so here maybe black would be the color that will come out. Then here we have got white and green. So here when the white light passes through green light, what will come out is green because of the green filter, and the light that is coming out is white. So it's going to take the color of the filter, which is going to be green. So the correct answer is C. Okay, unless if you have got questions, and if you want to understand more, you can ask me to present a lesson on filters, light and light filters, so that you'll be able to understand. Okay, let's go to question number 17. The diagram shows an electrical circuit. Okay, so that is an electric circuit, not electrical but electric circuit. So you can look at it. We have got 2 amps here, we have got 6 volts, we have got voltmeter here, we have got 2 ohms, and we have got resistor here, which we don't know the reading of this resistor. And the question is, calculate the value of R if the other resistor is 2 ohms. The value of R1 is so now when we are calculating resistance, resistor is equal to the reading, that the volts in the circuit over the the amps that are in here. So what is the reading of an ammeter? Okay, what is the reading of ammeter? Sorry. Okay, what's the reading of ammeter? So the reading of the ammeter will help us to tell us how many amps are in here. Okay, so now we have got 6 volts here and we have got 2 volts here. So when we replace this by the, so volts we are told is 6 and the amps they are 2. Okay, so we have got 2 amps there. So when we divide this, it's going to give us 3. That is the resistance of the, that's a total resistance, since they are the resistant are put in series. Okay, okay, if the resistance are put in series, then this is the total. So when we add this and this should give us 3. So what we can do is we can just say 3 minus the given one, which is 2. This is the total resistance we found here. This is the total resistance. Now we're going to find the resistor of this other one by subtracting the 2 from the total resistance, which is 3. So what is the answer is, the answer is 1. So here the value of this other one is 1 ohms. So that's the correct answer, 1 ohms. Okay, if you have got questions, we are a family, we can keep on asking and we will be there to comment and respond to your answers. Okay, we can, let me just move this, we go to the next question. Okay, the next question is question 18, which is what form of energy does water stored at a hydroelectric power station possess? So the power, the energy, the form of energy this water has is, now the thing is this, I want to remind you that don't get confused with this word, because we know that when power is being generated, water is moving. Okay, but there is a word that is telling us, it's here, it's saying water stored. The water is stored. When you store water, it doesn't move. Let's take for instance, if you see people have stored water in the water tanks, does that water move? No, it doesn't move. It is in the container, it's not moving. So that means the energy it's going to possess is potential energy. Potential energy is the energy that an object which is not moving possess. So it will be potential energy. Sorry, it's going to be potential energy. That's the correct answer, not kinetic energy. Okay, so unless if you have got questions, but this is the correct answer. Oh, sorry, what have I done? I've even loved the answer of my choice. Please, this is the answer of my choice, and I want to make it your choice as well. We go to question number 19. Which of the following is correct about analog transmission? Which of the following is correct about analog transmission? Its signal carry a lot of information per second? No. Its information can be stored and processed by computers? No. The quality of the signal over a long distance is maintained? No. The transmission is affected by extra random interference signal? Yes. Okay, that is the correct answer. Okay, that's why we are even switching from analog to digital. We come to question number 20. Question number 20 is the diagram shows a geostationary satellite. So let me start by describing what a geostationary satellite is. Geostationary satellite, this is a satellite that orbits around the earth. This is the satellite that is in the space. Okay, it goes around the earth. Okay, so let's go now further and look at this. Okay, so the question is identify the structure P and its function. Okay, the structure P and its function. So I'm sure I should know by now that these are solar panels, and we all know the functions of solar panels. These solar panels, they generate, these are just common. Even those solar panels, I'm sure most of you viewers have seen what a solar panel is. So this one is just to generate electricity. So when we come to structure P, antenna, micro ring, so solar panels here, those are solar panels. What is their job? To provide energy to the satellite. Yes, correct, to provide electrical energy to the the set right. Okay, so basically these are the answers you are supposed to find in section A. If you have got questions, like I said earlier on, you can ask. But from me, I'm saying thank you so much for being with me up to the end of section A. Please don't go away. Section B. Thank you so much for staying with us, and we really encourage you to be with us until the end of this paper. Okay, let me not bore you with so much things to say. Let's just go straight into answering the questions. So we go to section B, and you can see that section B is carrying 60 marks. So remember, section A was carrying 20 marks. If you are wondering where the other 20 marks is, it is in the practicals that I'm sure you did with your teachers before before you come to write a final exam. You do those practicals which will carry 20 marks. So please make sure that you do well in those practical papers. Don't underrate them because they are 20 marks. They are carrying literal marks. Please utilize that. Plus it's local done. That means it can be a bit easier than the final exam. So, and it's a practical usually is easier as long as you study and you concentrate. Is easier than the theory part. Okay, so now let's go to the next questions in this section. Before I go to the questions, let me go through the instruction, which is write all the answer in the space provided in the answer booklet. So again, we are making use of the answer booklet. So please make sure that your answer booklet is well kept, because this is where your future is being recorded. So whatever you write in here, make sure that you keep the answer sheet properly, so that it's even when they correct it's well, it doesn't look dirty, or it is like papers are jumbled. So make sure you do the right thing. Let's go to question number 1 of section B. The question number 1 of section B was coming from the human body. Okay, so this is the question that came. So what you need to do is just study the questions. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to zoom it, not like that. I'm going to zoom it a bit, okay, so that we are able to see the questions and the diagram. Okay, so they are asking us to study the following diagram shows the female reproductive system. Okay, so let me try to take it a bit. Okay, so what is there is let's take time to study this. Once you have done that, then we go to the next question. So what you can do here is you can pause the video and try to study it. So let's go to the first question. The first question is identify organs L and M. Okay, L and M. So L is this one and M is this one. And what is it? L is it? Okay, so L it's here. So we are going to say this is uterus. So that is uterus. Okay, that is uterus, and L is uterus. So I can put it there. Okay, so I don't know if I should change the color. Maybe red is going to be more vivid. Okay, so what is M? M it's here, it's the cervix. M it's the cervix, so we're going to write that, which is cervix. It's cervix, so M is cervix. Okay, so those are the names of the parts M and L. Okay, so we go to the next question. Next question is explain the function of organ J and K. So this is J and this is K. Okay, so the function, let's start with the J. Before you write the function, what is the name of J? First, let's identify the organ itself. So the organ is the ovary. Okay, it's called ovary. That's the name of that. Okay, it's an ovary. Okay, so what is the function of ovary? So I'm going to write 2 functions. However, this question, it has got 2 marks. That means they want you to give 1 function for J and 1 function for K. So since it's revision, I'm going to give you 2 functions for for ovary. So the first one is to produce ova. So we're going to say to produce ova or sex gametes, or yes, ova or sex gamete. So you can say ova or eggs. You can also call them as eggs. So let me just see, put in case people they don't know, we can say also eggs. Okay, to produce eggs. Okay, also like we can also call it sex, female sex gamete. I should put the word female. Okay, female sex gamete. Okay, so that's the first function. So let me just try to reduce the size of the words. Okay, and try to bring, okay, like that. Okay, to produce, so I'm going to bring it a bit closer like that. To produce six gametes. The other one is to produce hormones. Okay, also to produce hormones. Okay, those are the two functions of the ovary. So we come to K, because they have asked us to find the function of K and J. So we are done with J, which is ovary, and those are the functions. We come to K. So before we go on and write the functions, first let's identify that part labeled A. That is the oviduct. Okay, that is oviduct. Oviduct, which is also known as fallopian tube. Okay, that is also called fallopian tube. So what is the function? So the function of the fallopian tube there. Okay, the function, let me just make them a bit big because that's how I want to differentiate. Okay, so the function of fallopian tube is one, that's where fertilization take place. Okay, so you can say that's where fertilization takes place. Okay, if a woman becomes pregnant, that means in the fallopian tube fertilization took place. Okay, in the fallopian tube the fertilization took place. Okay, okay, that's where fertilization took place. Okay, we come to the second one, the function of the fallopian tube. The second one is it's a passage for ova stroke egg. Okay, it's a passage for ova stroke egg. So when ova or sex gametes are produced by the ovary, for them to reach the uterus, or if they are not fertilized, for them to come through the vagina, they need to pass through the oviduct. If they don't pass through the oviduct, there's no way that they can be okay, let me say that if the oviduct is closed, that means the woman will be barren, who won't be able to have children, because there is no way these eggs will reach the uterus. Okay, so I have heard of these situations where the oviduct is blocked and they can go for medical attention and then they unblock it, and then they definitely will come and have a child, they will bear a child. Okay, so there are certain biological errors that can happen in human body that can lead to baldness, like blocking and blocking the oviduct. Okay, we go to question number C. Which organ produces chemicals associated with changes in puberty? So, like earlier on, we are asked, I'm sure that was the first question in section A. We learned that the ovaries produces the chemicals that associate with the changes in puberty. So we're going to say the correct answer is organ. So we're going to say organ J. Okay, so it's organ J. Okay, I will try to make this a bit bigger. Okay, organ J. So organ J is the one that is responsible for producing chemicals that are associated with puberty. Okay, we come to D, which is explain the importance of observing hygiene of the part N. Okay, so the part N, what is the part N code? First of all, before we talk about the importance of taking care of it, what is the part N code? So the part N is called vagina. Okay, that is the vagina. Okay, okay, that is the vagina. That is the vagina. Okay, so that is the vagina. Okay, right. It's just a bit too small. Okay, that's a vagina. Okay, so what we know about the vagina is this is the opening of the female reproductive system. This is where the penis is inserted, and this is when during the childbirth, this is where the child comes through. Okay, so what will be the if the vagina is kept unclean, what will happen to the vagina? So one, if it's dirty, then there will be diseases in the vagina. So when you are keeping good hygiene, you are preventing infections or diseases. So number one, preventing infections infections or diseases. Infection or diseases. Okay, then the other one, if the vagina is taken care of, if we clean it, then we cannot be infected. So the other point is it is also to prevent bad odor. Okay, so to prevent bad odor. Okay, bad odor. Okay, or let me say stroke, smelling. Okay, this is very embarrassing. Even if sometimes it's common with the maybe bad breath. If you have got bad breath and someone tells you to say, you have a bad breath, yeah, you feel embarrassed. So same applies with if your vagina is kept dirty, it will be smelling. And the unfortunate part of smelling is your nose tends to get used to the smelling and you don't feel it, but other people feel it. Just like if you are wearing a perfume, you immediately spray. Okay, as you are spraying, you feel the scent, you smell the scent, and then later on, after some time, your nose get used to the smelling, and you don't feel it. People are the ones who are going to be saying, "Oh, you're wearing a nice perfume," but for you, it's you think like your perfume has stopped smelling. The scent of your perfume, people are not feeling it, but people will be feeling it. So same applies with this bad odor. If you have got bad breath, you never realize that you have bad breath, but people will be telling you to say you have bad breath. So it's very important that even if you don't feel the bad breath, you take care of your organs. Okay, so these are the answers they expected you to write in an exam. Now with that, let's go to question number 2. Okay, question number 2 was coming from the topic of environment. So the first question is identify causes of each of the following. So this is question 2A, identify the causes of each of the following. So the first one is air pollution. What causes the air pollutions? Okay, so the first one is smoke. Smoke. Okay, the first one is smoke. This can be smoke from the firewood, from anything that is being burnt, and we can also say this smoke, although we can also say smoke from the factories. Okay, then we can also talk about dust. Okay, so you can pick one of these two. Remember, I'll just be giving you two so that you can pick one, and I'm not going to, because if I congest my answers, that means it will be very difficult for you to master. But if I give you two, that means you are going to easily master them. And more importantly, that yeah, is that questions in exams, they don't ask you to state three, or it's either two or one. Mostly, in most cases, unless otherwise, mostly it's two. They want to give two reasons, to give two answers, not three. So I'll be giving you two. Make sure you master them. Okay, we go to number 2. What causes water pollution? Okay, water pollution may be caused due to untreated sewage going into the river. So due to, so I can say untreated sewage. Okay, untreated sewage came into the water. Okay, two people urinating in the water. It can be the river, urinating in the water. So as human beings urinating in the water, and some they reach an extent of defecating in the water. Okay, if you have been to Tanganyika, Lake Mwelu, these big rivers we have, we see that fishermen, they go catching fish on those lakes, and what happens is whenever they feel placed, they don't come to the shores and use, but they sit there and do the activities, and none of them carry chambers or anything, that a container which they can use for them to relieve themselves, but they will just definitely do that. And fun of it, they are the same people in their face, they want to drink water from the lake again, you see, so they end up infecting themselves or contaminating themselves. Okay, so urinating in the, so we are saying urinating in the water. Urinating in the water, that is the other one. So you can pick on these two and you write them as an answer, as answers. Okay, if you have got questions, we'll be glad to respond to you in the comment section. We come to question number A3, land pollution. How is the land polluted? Okay, so one is throwing of garbages anyhow. So we're going to say throwing of, let me just say garbage, because they're saying state the cause of each. Okay, so we can even say garbages. Okay, so people, they will just throw garbages anyhow. You see people, they buy anything, they buy bananas, they eat the peels of banana will be thrown anyhow, for the oranges. And sometimes I would say, okay, at least bananas, because they will end up like they will decay. But there are some things like plastics, guys, drinking any drink which is put in a plastic bottle, after drinking they will throw it anyhow, and then these they don't easily decay, or they won't be dry and then someone steps and become dust. No, they will be there for some years. This is absurd. So you should, at least as you are doing, you are drinking, you are eating, please take note of your surrounding. Check if there is anywhere where people throw rubbish. Even if there is no bin, but there is a designated area where people throw rubbish, that means the people, like the council people, will come to that point and get everything. That will be better. And if people they see that there is a lot, they can even hire people to come and get that. So it can be easier than throwing litter anyhow. It's very sad that you can see people eating and throwing dirt just the way they feel. That is uncalled for. Okay, we come to the second point, which is the other one is so there was also spills of oil from tanks, or maybe I'm sure you have seen where maybe there was spillage of oil on the tarmac. You see there was going to be a mark just like that, and that oil may even go into the liver if the nearest liver. So such things. Okay, so you can say spilled, or we just say, let me just say oil. But if I just say oil, it can be in the container, but you can see spilled oil. Okay, so this, if you spill oil, you make sure that okay, you make sure that it's you take care of that place, and then we leave the place clean. Okay, we come to question 2b, which is give one effect on the environment and living things caused by air pollution. Okay, so one effect of one effect of caused by air pollution, why is respiratory diseases. Respiratory diseases. But even sometimes you see that if there is a lot of air pollution, like there is a lot of dust, this may cause, like here in our country, when there is a lot of, like when you reach August, there is a lot of dust, you see that there will be a lot of high cases. People who have problems with the eyes. Okay, so even though it's not common, maybe I cannot generalize it, but that effect we see it here in Zambia, where we see people with during August, when it's windy and there is a lot of dust, people will be affected with the eyes. Okay, so we go to the other one is also lung cancer, or global warming. So I'll go with global warming. Okay, this one is worldwide. Okay, global warming. So there is also global warming, which has caused climate change. So you see that rainfall pattern is different. Rainfall can start late and end early, which is making it difficult for us to cultivate enough food for the population, which is continuously increasing at a faster rate. So it's a challenge. Okay, so those are the other things that those are the challenges that are presented by air pollution. Okay, so the other one is land pollution. So when you pollute land, what happens? Okay, a place where there is a lot of dirt, what happens? That means you may even have outbreak of diseases, like we see situations where like outbreak of diseases. Okay, so like if you have, a place that is very dead, the surrounding of that place is very dead, or there is a compound where there is a lot of dead, there is even high risk of cholera. So during that time when cholera is like in rain season when cholera is likely to break out, you see people cleaning the environment, because if the environment is dirty, that means cholera will easily break out. Okay. The other thing that you see is um, there will be unpleasant smell. Okay, unpleasant smell. Unpleasant smell. There will be a bad smell that will be coming from those dirt that is around the area. So if we are throwing dirt anyhow, when the dirt accumulates and the bacteria they come there and they act, they will start producing bad smell. And this is a bad thing. If you, for instance, you are unlucky, your house is near the area where they are throwing dirt, you'll be in bad smell every day and night. Okay, unless you get used, it becomes like the what I explained area. When it gets used, you stop smelling the bad smell. People, they will just be surprised, how do they manage to stay where it smells like this? Okay, so the last one is uh, describe one way of reducing air pollution. One way of reducing air pollution. Okay, so sometimes what we can do is try to use different method of energy that doesn't releases fumes or smoke. Okay, so you use different, like if you use usually cooking on the firewood, you can change, you can switch to something that is less of releasing smoke in the air. Okay, so and the other one is you start filtering the fumes. So how do you reduce air pollution? Why? One is filtering the fumes. Okay, filtering the fumes, that is the first option, and that is the answer you can write. You just write that, they'll tick your answer, they'll give you 1 mark. And the other one is you reduce on the use of uh, energy sources that produces seems, or you can, let me just say use alternate, use let me say use energy sources, energy sources that does not produce fumes, that does not produce fumes. Okay, so you can pick any of the two. So one, by filtering fumes, the other one is use energy sources that does not produce fumes. In this way you can eradicate the issue of air pollution. Okay, now we can go to the next question. If you have got questions, please ask in the comment section. Remember to like this video if you found it helpful, and also share with your friends. Please don't forget to invite your friends, because we really want to grow, so let them also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, let's go to question number 3, which is plants and animals. This topic was coming from plant and animals. So the question is as follows: the following diagram shows the two types of cells. So the two types of cells, there is so we need first to identify the types of cells. We have got cell T and cell U. So you need to identify this cell, what is, if these are two types of cells, what type is this cell and what type is this cell. Now let's go to the first question, because I might be answering the questions that are in the questions. Okay, so question 1 is, which of these two cells, T or U, is a plant cell? Okay, among these, which one is a plant cell? So as you can see, this one has a regular shape, and this one has irregular shape, this one has regular shape. This has irregular shape, this has regular shape. So the one with a regular shape, that is a branch cell. So we're going to say cell T. Okay, so say cell T. Cell T is a branch cell. Okay, we come to question B, which is identify the part labeled Q. Okay, Q, that is Q, it's that one. So what is that part called? That is a cell membrane. Okay, that is cell membrane. That is cell membrane. Okay, that is cell membrane. That's cell membrane. Q is the cell membrane. Okay, we come to question C. State the function of the structure P and R. So what is the name? State the function. So we want to find the function of P and R. It's 2 marks. That means we should give one function for each letter. So P, where is P? P is there. So what is the function of P? Okay, so here P, before we write the functions, let's identify the name of P. So P is a cell, so I'm going to write that. So that is cell. Cell, that is cell. So what is the function of cell? Okay, we come to the function of cell. Let me write it down here. Okay, the function of the cell, one, it gives shape to the cell. It gives shape to the cell. Okay, this is a branch cell, so I'm not going to repeat and say. We know that this is a branch cell, so it gives the shape to the cell. That's why this shape has got a regular shape because of the cell. Okay, it has got a regular shape because of the cell. So the other function is it protects the cell. The other function is to protect the cell. Okay, the other function is to protect the cell. Okay, is to protect the cell. That is the other function. So it gives shape to the cell, it protects the cell. Okay, all right, now those are the functions of the cell. Now that is P. Okay, now the question is asking us to find the function for P and R. So here you just pick one. You either pick it gives shape to the cell, or you pick it protects the cell. Any of the two you remember in exam, write it as the function of a cell. Okay, we come to let me okay, let me make the cell word a bit big. Okay, so cell, I think now it's a bit bigger. Now we go to R, the function of R. First of all, we need to identify what is R. What is the name of R? R is cytoplasm. Okay, so we're going to say cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm, that is the name of that part, which is R. So R is cytoplasm. Both plants have got cytoplasm. Okay, so now the question is, what is the function of cytoplasm? So I'm going to write it here. Okay. Okay, so the function of cytoplasm is it is a site for chemical reactions. chemical reactions, or you can also say, let me just reduce this. Okay, it is the site for chemical reaction, and it is also chemical reactions, or it is also a site for cell activities. Okay, it is a site for chemical reaction and also cell activities. So we can also say it is a site for for cell, not chemical, but cell activities. Cell activities. Okay, it's a site for cell activities. Okay, those are the two functions. Okay, so those are the functions of R. So you can pick one there, whichever you write between these two, you get the answer correct. So we come to question D. Which structure was omitted in cell T? So in this cell T, we have got 5 structures that are there. Now which one was omitted? We have got nucleus, we have got vacuum. The one which was omitted is chloroplast. So the one which was omitted is chloroplast. So we're going to say chloroplast. Okay. Okay, it's chloroplast. Okay. Chloroplast was not mentioned, is not labeled, so it was omitted. We come to E. Explain one structural difference between T and U. Okay, so this one, there are three structural differences. So I'm going to raise two. I'm going to write two, then, but you know that there are three. So let me start with one. So when we look at this, here there is this vacuum, but when you look at this plant, there is this cell, there is no vacuum. So we can say one. So I'm going to, because we have identified that cell T is a plant cell. So we can say, okay, we can just use the same word cell T has vacuum well cell U has no vacuum. Okay, has no vacuum. So though that is the difference one. Cell T has vacuum, well cell U has no vacuum. Okay, so we can go to the second difference. We go for the second difference. So when you come to the plant, you see that this one has got cell hole, this one has no cell hole. Instead, it just has cell membrane. Okay, just has cell membrane. So what we can say is we can say cell T has cell or well cell U has no cell hole. Okay, so again that one is telling us that that is the other difference. Okay, so basically these are the two differences that you can note in two, but the other one is cell, like we had said here on 3D, which is chloroplast. Chloroplast is only found in the plant cell, it's not found in here. So chloroplast, this is the green pigment that you see in the plant. Okay, so it is just it's just in the plant cell, not in an animal cell. Okay, so basically these were the answers examiners were expecting from you. So if you have got questions, you can ask. Otherwise, let's go to the next question, which is question number 4. Okay, question number 4 is coming from the topic of materials and energy, and it was as follows. The following diagram shows apparatus used to obtain clean water from sea water. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to study this diagram. So you pay attention, more especially focus on the letters as well as here. Okay, so the first question, let's go to the first question. For me, I would urge you to pause the video so that you study the diagram properly. So we come to question 4A1. Identify the apparatus W. So this is the apparatus W. What is it called? This W here. In case you haven't seen where there is W, this one. What is this called? And it's asking about to identify the name of this apparatus. What is the separator code? Okay, so this apparatus is called, the name of this apparatus is conical flask. Conical flask. Okay, it's called conical flask. So that is conical flask. And then we go to question number 1, 2, which is what is the function of apparatus V. Okay, so before we state the apparatus V, the function of apparatus V, let's see, first identify this apparatus V. So the name of this is Liebig condenser. So Liebig condenser. Liebig condenser. Okay, that's the name of that. It's Liebig condenser. That's the name of this. Let me just drag this a bit to V. Okay, V is called Liebig condenser, and this is the Liebig condenser, the one here. This is the Liebig condenser. Okay, so what is the function of this Liebig condenser? The function of this Liebig condenser is to condense water from water vapor into water, is to condense water vapor into water. So the function of this is to condense water vapor to water. Condense water vapor to water. That's a function of Liebig condenser. Okay, to condense water vapor to water or into water. Let me put it this way, into water. Okay, to condense water vapor into water. So water vapor is in form of gas. So when it comes like this, you find that it becomes liquid. That is there. So if you write it's to convert water vapor into liquid, again the answer will be okay, is correct. Or to condense gas into liquid, this answer should be acceptable. Now since they are talking about water, for them to have clean water, then when we talk about water vapor, we are being specific. It's not only water vapor that will be converted, it can be a vapor of a certain substance. Okay, so we come to question number B, which is mention the method of separating mixtures illustrated in the diagram. The method is distillation. The method is distillation. That's a method. The method being used there is called distillation. This is distillation. Okay, all right, we go to question number C. What term is used to describe the substance that will remain in the round bottomed flask when separation comes to an end. So here is the round bottom flask. It's here. So what do we call what will remain here? Okay, this is the one we are talking about as a round bottomed flask. Okay, what do we call what will remain here? Okay, the what will remain after the experiment or the separation has come to an end is what we call residue. Okay, residue. It's called the residue. Okay, residue. That's the name of what will remain there. Okay, unless otherwise, that is the answer, residue. Okay. Okay, I'm just trying to make them a bit big. We go to question number D. State one industrial application of this method of separating mixture shown in the diagram. Okay. Okay, so here this one is used in separating water from seawater, or we can say extracting. Let me say extracting water from sea water. Okay, and it can also be used it can be used in brewing alcohol, Okay, so this can be used in those areas. So those are the answers. You just need to write one. As you can see, the mark is 1. You can just write 1: extracting water from the seawater or brewing alcohol. So those which where they brew alcohol, you can use this method. Okay, so that is the method that is used. Okay, so the next question is, what method of what method of separating mixture can be used to separate water and ethanol? So this one we can use what we call fractional distillation. Distillation. Okay, we use the method which is fractional distillation. Okay, so those are the answers we are expected to write. We go to the next question. If you have got questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Otherwise, we are pushing forward. Okay, the question 5 was coming from materials and energy, and the question was as follows: the following diagram shows two instruments used when measuring mass and weight. Okay, so we have got this instrument X and this instrument Y. Okay, so the question is, define the following. So the first one is, we define mass. Okay, so mass, we can say this is the amount of substance in an object. So the amount of substance in an object, we can say amount of substance in an object. The amount of substance in an object, or in a substance. Okay, the amount of substance in a substance or in an object, that is mass, what that object contains. Okay, then weight, we can say, what is weight? We can say the pull of gravity on mass. Okay, weight is pull of gravity on mass. Okay, pull of gravity on mass. Those are the definitions. So we go to question number 5b, which is which instrument X or Y measures mass. Okay, mass is measured by instrument Y. So we're going to say instrument Y. Okay, instrument Y will measure mass, and instrument X will measure weight. Instrument X will measure weight. Okay, so X will measure weight, Y will measure mass. Okay, come to this one. What happens to the mass and the weight of an object when moved from place to place? Okay, so here what we can say is mass will remain the same. Okay, mass is going to remain the same. So once the mass will remain the same, wherever you go with an object, the mass of that object will be the same. However, weight will change from place to place. Okay, weight will change from place to place. So that's what will happen. Sorry, what has happened again? Okay, so we are saying mass will remain the same if you move place to place, but weight will change from place to place. So this means that if you go to the moon, the weight will not be the same as it was on the earth. Okay, so the weight will change but mass will remain the same. Okay, we got to question number 6, which was coming from human body. Okay, the topic of human body. So the question is, the following diagram shows the shape of the chest during inspiration and expiration. Okay, so these are the two diagrams. So the first question is, which diagram shows that inspiration has taken place? So the one which is showing that inspiration has taken place is B. So what is inspiration? This is taking in of air. Okay, if you breathe in, that is you are taking in air. So we are saying it's the diagram B. Okay, so diagram B is the correct answer. Diagram B is the correct answer for this question. Now we come to question 6b, which is identify the parts labeled G and H. Okay, so let's start with G. These parts which are labeled G, these parts are leaves. Okay, so we are going to say G is equal to leaves. Okay, these are leaves. Okay, then this H, this is diaphragm. Okay, so this is diaphragm. Okay, diaphragm, that is diaphragm. Okay, is my spelling okay? Diaphragm, so meaning I'm sure I'm supposed to put G here. Okay, so that's the correct spelling. Okay, that is diaphragm and that is ribs. So H is diaphragm, G are ribs. Okay, the next question is question C, which is explain what causes the change in shape of H from A to B. Okay, what happened there is it contracts or flattens, right? What causes that is because that it contracts or flattens. Okay, so we can say it contracted. Okay, it contract or flattens. Okay, it contracts or flattens. Okay, we go to question number D. Okay, name the muscle found between the structure labeled G.
It's now 7 p.m.
Okay, name the muscles found between structure G, structure labeled G. So we are talking about these. What do we call these which are found here? So we can say these are, the name of these is intercostal muscles. Okay, they are intercostal muscles. We can call them as intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles. Okay, those are called intercostal muscles. So if it's not clear, let me just bring my answer down here so that it's very clear. Okay, it's called intercostal muscles and it's likely that they should be okay like that, intercostal muscles. Okay, so we come to question E. How does the named structure in D help in breathing mechanism in diagram B? Okay, in diagram B, how does it help? This is diagram B. What happens to them in diagram B? So what is there is contracts to raise case during lip case during inspiration. So it contracts and lays the lip case. Right? It lays the lip case during inspiration. So let me just drag this down here because okay, there. So what happens? It contracts and lays. It contracts and lays the lip case during inspiration. Okay, inspiration. So what we are talking about inspiration is breathing in. So as you can see, this has even gotten bulge. That means the air has come in. Okay, all right, so this is what happens. So it contracts and lays the lip case during expiration. Okay, unless otherwise, those were the answers. We come to question number 7. Okay, question number 7 is, apart from HIV and AIDS, mention two common sexual transmitted diseases. Two common. Okay, the two common sexual. So two diseases that are common. One is gonorrhea. Okay, the other one is gonorrhea, which is GONORRHOEA. Okay, so that is gonorrhea. The first one is gonorrhea. The other one, which is too common, remember here there is a word which is common, which is making me to stick to gonorrhea and syphilis. So you can say and syphilis. Gonorrhea and syphilis, these are two common diseases that are transmitted through sexual intercourse. Okay, so if you want to have sex with someone, please make sure you use a condom, and if condoms are not available, please just abstain. And if you are still a school going child, my brother and sister, please just abstain. The boys, the girls you see, those are maintained by their parents. They need people working for them to be maintained. So please, no matter how they can flash money in your presence, that money is worked for by their parents. So just be content with what you have and know where you want to go. So please, if you want your future to be bright, like our motto for our channel, for our brand, we are saying, please abstain and try to make sure your future is bright. Okay, let's go to question number 7b, which is explain two ways in which HIV and AIDS has negatively impacted on the population of a country. Okay, this is not only in Zambia, but majority of the countries that are HIV affected, okay, or which has people infected by HIV, you'll find that there are a lot of homes that are child-headed. Okay, it has increased the childhood homes. Okay, this means that even long time ago, before the introduction of HIV or AIDS, there was some homes that were child aided when unforeseen circumstance happened, like parents die maybe due to maybe an accident or anything, and a child remains as a responsible for the family. But with the coming of HIV or AIDS, this has come it has increased this scenario. So one, it's let's say increase there is increase in child headed homes. Okay, well, what I mean here is that a child becomes the leader of the home. The child who is supposed to be taken care of starts making plans as a parent, starts taking care of the family, because the father, the mother have passed away from HIV or AIDS. Okay, then the other one is it has also caused poverty to increase. So there is increase in poverty. Okay, increase in poverty. Increase in poverty. Okay, so there is an increase in poverty. I'm not saying that there was no poverty long time ago before HIV came. Like when it came in Zambia in 1982, poverty was already there, but because of this, it has made poverty to increase. How? Most of the homes, maybe it's either the breadwinners died. Okay, for instance, maybe the father was the breadwinner. Now I don't know circumstances that led him to contract this virus. He has passed away. So people he has left behind living in poverty. The other thing is there is poverty that because maybe the two parents that are supposed to fend for their families are bedridden because of this disease. So they are not able to work. What happens? There is no enough food at home. Then there is poverty coming. Okay. So those are scenarios that has brought in the poverty into this scenario. Okay, the other one, since they're asking for two, I'm going to give you three. Okay, the other one is there is also pressure on the health. Okay, because the government has to maintain that in hospitals there is these ARVs drugs. So if there are shortages of ARVs, then there will be pressure. Okay. In other ways, there is also okay. The other way around again, because many people have got HIV or AIDS. Let me say they have HIV virus. That means they are likely to be sick oftenly. That means they will be always admitted or visiting the hospital. So the hospitals will be having a lot of patients, the NC putting pressure on the healthy sector. Okay, so there is also pressure on healthy services or sector. So pressure, we can say pressure on health, sorry, it's health sector. Okay, health sector. Okay, and remember there is also pressure on the family. The other point, even if I'm not going to include it here, there is also the other point, which is even if you are not infected, surely you are affected. Okay, even for this pressure at work, if someone has HIV or AIDS, that means this person who is going to be a perpetual absentee, not by will, but because this person will be oftenly sick. When he's sick, he cannot come and work. Hence, the other workers, the other colleagues who will be standing for him oftenly. This will bring pressure on on the colleagues as well, and also the leaders, the bosses, the administrators, who sees that the company runs smoothly. They will have headache to see who's going to cover up for HIV patient who is sick and is not able to attend to his duties. So there is a lot of negative effect this pandemic has brought. Okay, however, those are the three ones I can share with you now. I hope they are very clear. We have said increase in child-headed homes, increase in poverty. There is a lot of poverty now because of this, and in pressure on healthy sectors. Okay, let's go to question number 3, which is describe 2 ways by which HIV and AIDS can be prevented. The best one and the first one, which most of the people don't like, is abstinence. So you need to practice abstinence. So abstinence, sorry, where abstinence. Okay. Okay, abstinence. There was a motto which was abstinence riche. So you abstain. Okay, ladies and boys and girls, let me tell you the truth. Your future is very bright. I'm telling you, majority of you, your future will be good. Sometimes we don't see how good it will be, but trust the process. As long as you are in school, make sure that you do the right thing. You follow what your teacher are telling you. You follow all the instructions. You are going to have a bright future. It doesn't matter if people tells you that you are old school, you maybe, I don't know, maybe you're not checked up, maybe they just see you, they call you kama normal, they do whatever. The best thing I can give you now is the advice of saying just be yourself and abstain. Girls, boys, they just distract you from your studies. Let's go to the other point, that is the other one which you can use to prevent HIV or AIDS is one by having protected sex. Okay, protected sex. So when you want to When you decide to have sex, please make sure have protected sex by using condoms. Okay, you use condoms, but I can tell you to say that condoms are not 100% perfect. So even if you are using condoms, there is a chance that the condom can burst. Okay, and for instance, you are using a condom, you're a girl, you don't know what that boy or man will do to the condom. There is a likelihood that if he's just too selfish and he's just a self-centered person, he can do anything to the condom and this can have leakages. Okay, so you can't trust that. Immediately you get involved into sexual activities, the likelihood of you getting sick is high. So please, abstinence, the first answer, is the best thing you can do, and that's the best gift you can give to yourself. Remember, if you don't love yourself, no one will love you. Okay, so first love yourself, and if you don't love yourself, there's no way you can love others. So one way you can love yourself is by protecting yourself. Okay, don't have sex before it's the right time. Okay, we go to the second point. The second point we have said, the first one is abstinence. The other one is having protected sex. If you can't manage these two I've mentioned, then I can give you an advice to say stick to one sexual partner. Make sure you stick to one sexual partner. Please stick to one sexual partner. Having multiple partners doesn't prove you that you are beautiful. Okay, having a lot of sexual partner doesn't prove to you that you're handsome. Okay, anything that is cheaply achieved, that is has no value. So you, by having multiple partners, is telling us that you don't have value. Okay, and girls, don't think when a lot of boys are approaching you that maybe you are most beautiful. No, get it from me, a gentleman. If you see a lot of boys coming after you, it's because they see you that you are easy goer, a person that is we value most. Even when we approach, even when we want to ask for the fruit, we really make sure that we have invested. If we come to you without investing, then we even use you. It's because you are cheap. So if you are approached as a girl, you are approached by many boys, doesn't mean that you are beautiful. So basically, these were the answers we are supposed to write. So for 7A, gonorrhea and syphilis. 7B, we are increase in child-headed homes, increase in poverty, pressure on health sector, abstinence, having unprotected sex, stick to one sexual partner. These were the answers we are supposed to write. So these are the answers. On where I've written three, you can pick just the best two of yours, then you write them. Let's go to question number 8. Question number 8 is coming from materials and energy. The question is, the diagram is on an experiment with right using a lens. Okay, so we have got a lens here, and you can take note of these letters that are given. You take note of them, please. Okay, we have got these letters, so please you take note of them so that you are able to. So we are going to be coming to these letters. Okay, now let's go to question number what type of lens is used in this experiment? What type of lens is used in that experiment? Okay, so the type of lens that is used in here is diverging or concave lens. Okay, diverging or concave lens. Okay, so we can say concave, concave or diverging lens. Okay, concave or diverging lens. That's the name of this lens that is being used. Okay, so they are saying identify the, we go to question B of 8, which is identify the position labeled by the letter J and K. So we go to the diagram, we have got J and K. What is the J? So let me say J is equal to, so the name of J, that is the focal point. That is focal point. So we're going to say that is focal point. Okay, that is focal point. And what is the K? We can say K is equal to K is this one from here up to here. This K is focal length. Okay, we're going to call it focal length. Okay, focal length, that is focal length. Okay, that is K, focal length. Okay, so we come to question, I don't know if it's, I lift them a bit. Okay, we come to this, what type of image does this type of lens produce? Okay, the type of image are virtual, sorry, it's going to produce virtual or it's going to virtual or not real, okay. Then it is the same, it's also going to be or imaginary or imaginary image. Okay, so if you can write any of those, then your answer will be okay. If you can pick one of that and you write, they will tick you. So if you write virtual image, it will be correct. You write not real image, it will be correct, or imaginary image to be correct. Okay, so come to question D, which is which letter shows the optical center? So the optical center is this one here. This is the optical center. Okay, so this is the optical center. So the letter showing that is letter L. So that is letter L. Let me just let me make it a capital letter and make it big. Okay, what am I doing? I'm reducing it. Okay, let me make it big. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Which letter shows the optical center is letter L. Name the use of the type of lens used in the experiment. So this type of lens is used in making spectacles, which helps people who are short-sighted or those who are long-sighted, those who have problems with sight. This will help them. Spectacles. What? I don't stay spectacles. Oh wait, what are these? Spectacles. Okay, so spectacles, we can also use put s there and say spectacles. Okay, so these are used in making spectacles. We come to question number 9. Please, if you have got questions, I'm a bit fast, and if you have got questions, please ask in the comment section. Easy Learning Z is here to make your future bright. So don't mess up that opportunity of making your future bright. Okay, let's go to question number 9, which is coming from materials and energy. The question is the following diagram shows a block with a force of 100 Newton resting on the floor from two different positions. Okay, so the first question is, so we have got diagram 1 and diagram 2. You can see that in diagram 1 this block is lying down and here it's standing. Okay, I refer this to standing because the surface which is down is small and the surface which is down here is big, so we can call it lying down, and this one is standing. So we come to question number 1. If if the side of the block which is in contact with the floor in diagram 1 is 2 centimeter 2 meter squared, calculate the pressure exerted on the floor. Okay, so what we can do is the formula for pressure is so we are calculating pressure exerted. So okay, let me use my pen. So the formula for pressure is P, which is pressure, is equal to P is equal to, so we say force, okay, over area, okay, over area. So force over unit area, so we are just going to say over area. Okay, so now in this statement we are told to say force is how much. So we go back to the statement here, which we are told that the force is of 100 newton. So we come down here, where there is force we put 100 newton. Yo, I'm telling you, I'll get better one day with this because it's giving me hell. Okay, we are going to say force is equal to 100. Oh, what is happening again? Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, force is equal to 100, okay, newton. Okay, that is over, what is the unit area? Unit area given 2 meters squared. So we're going to say this is 2 meters squared. Okay, then what will happen is squared. Let me also write squared up there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say equal to, okay, once we have done that, then we ignore first the units and then focus on the numbers. So we're going to say 2 into 1, it can't, so we put 0 together with 1. We say 2 into 10, it will go 5 times, so we have 5. Okay, then we say this, remember we just used this 10 and we got 5, then 0, there was no remainder, then we remained with 0, so that means we're going to have 50 down here. We're going to have 50, or 2 into 100 to go 50 times. Okay, so we have 50 there. Then what we do is, now since we have that, then we just write the units. So we're going to have n newton stroke, we say stroke meters squared. So this is the correct answer. Okay, this is the correct answer, 50 stroke newton, okay, squared. Okay, if you have got questions you can ask in the comments, but otherwise this is the answer. Let's go to question number B. State whether the pressure exerted on the floor will increase, reduce, or remain the same when the block is turned as shown in B. What will happen? So in B it's like this. Okay, okay, in diagram 2, not B but diagram 2, so like this and this. So what will happen to the pressure? So now the area where it is resting has reduced, that means the pressure is going to increase, because the area which is resting on the floor has decreased, that means the pressure will increase. Okay, the pressure will what? Increase. So we say pressure will increase. Pressure will what? Increase. Okay, the pressure will increase. That is the answer. The pressure will increase. The pressure will increase. That is the correct answer. Okay, give reason for your answer. Okay, so here is what I'm going to explain. Here the unit area is big, okay, and here the unit area is small. Now since the unit area is small, and here in diagram A the unit area that was resting on the floor was big, that means the pressure was distributed to the whole area. Now here, since the unit area is small, that means the pressure will concentrate in a small area, therefore that's why it has increased. Okay, so that is the reason why we are saying it has increased. So give reason for your answer. Let me give the reason down here. Okay, so we are saying because the area reduced well, the force remained the same. Well, the force remained the same. So the area reduced while the force remained the same. Okay, what kind of the word is that? The force remained the same. So because the area reduced while the force remained the same, that's why the pressure will increase. Okay, so the pressure will increase well the force because the force remained the same. So the other question is now question C, which is state two factors which affect pressure in gases. So the first one is temperature. Temperature affects the pressure in the gases. The other one is volume. Okay, volume affects the pressure on the gases. Okay, so basically these are the two factors that will affect pressure in gases. Okay, so now we have answered question number 9, and these were the answers examiners were expecting for you to write. Let's go to the next question, which is question 10. This is the final question, and if you have been with us up to this far, we are saying we're humbled and thank you so much. We are dedicated to produce videos like this, so please let's go to question number 10, which was coming from materials and energy. It seems this paper was just all about questions from materials and energy. Let's go into answering question number 1. So what is energy? That's the question we are asked. What is energy? Okay, so I hope you are using even the tactic of pausing the video and then try to answer the question, then later on let's check the answers I'm giving. So what is energy? We're saying energy is the ability to do work. The ability to do work is called energy. Okay, all right, now we go to question number 10b, which is state one form of energy. Okay, there are lot of form of energy, so I'm going to give you at least 2 or 3 so that I'm sure they can't ask you to more than 3 or just more than 2. They can't ask you that. One, the other form of energy is potential energy. Let me start with that. Potential energy. Okay, the other one is the opposite of potential energy. This is the energy called kinetic energy. Then The other one is can be okay, sound energy. So sound energy, sound energy. So you can pick any. So I'm saying potential energy or kinetic energy or sound energy. There are so many forms of energy. There is potential energy, kinetic energy, sound energy, light energy, mechanical energy, electrical energy. There are so many forms. So just master these three. So sound and light energy. These are common. If you can remember them, just write that. Okay. So you just pick one of the three. You write it. So this energy is applicable. So I'm just saying potential energy, kinetic energy, sound energy. Okay, so now we go to question number C, which is explain one negative effect of energy generation on the environment. One effect of energy generation. Okay, one, because we want to make energy, then sometimes it cause pollution. Okay, this pollution can be this pollution can be this pollution can be land pollution, can be air pollution, sorry, can be land pollution or air pollution, but definitely trying to generate energy we end up causing pollution. Okay, then there is also land degradation, land, we can say land degradation. Okay, we destroy the, we make the land to be poor. Okay, and then there is also depreciation of resources. Okay, so it sometimes also cause depreciation of resources, depression of resources. Okay, so trying to generate energy, we end up finishing the resources, so the resources will get finished. Okay, those are the negative effects. If we can have a source of energy which doesn't depreciate the the sources of energy. Okay, okay, now it doesn't finish the resources. Okay, so we can go now to the question D. Question D is describe two ways by which energy can be conserved. Okay, two ways in which we can conserve energy. Why? One, by switching off lights when we are not using them. Okay, one, by switching off lights, switching off lights when we are not using them, when you are not using them. So one, by switching off the lights when you are not using them. I hate some behaviors which I've seen with you students who happens to be children. Sometimes the way you handle things, you may leave the light on, you sleep, and we are not using the right. This is also becoming a burden to your parents. They are buying units, and sometimes you just don't see when we are crying, when we can't afford. Okay, but apart from being wasting the energy, you are also putting a strain on your parents, on the budget. When the budget is, when you put a strain on the budget, that means that strain will be transferred to your parents. So sometimes you need to take care of these things. As you go to sleep, you switch off the lights. When you're not using the cooker, you switch it off. Okay, there's no way you can, like it's in June, you start being beside the cooker for you to get heat because it's cold. That is uncalled for. Okay, so at least even if your parents says we cannot be using heater, they know why they are saying that. Okay, so don't cause a strain on energy which later uh, transfers to your parents. That's why you're seeing certain parents hanging themselves, dying early, having BP because of certain issues. Other things we can avoid. Some will even search for a wizard, a witch. Sometimes I've seen that you children become witches of your parents because of how you handle things. So please, just the small responsibility of like switching off the lights and other things can help your parents to live longer. Okay, it won't cause stress on them. Okay, so make sure you be just responsible and do this. However, on academic purpose, when we do this, when we switch off lights, we are going to save energy. Okay, we're going to save energy. Okay, okay, the other one is we can save energy by also using alternative. Okay, mm, so we can say by using alternative energy. Okay, so basically we can also switch to, like, let's talk about electricity. We can also switch to solar panel. Right? Solar power. We start buying solar power and we put it in our homes. It doesn't matter even if your house is connected to the national grid. What you can do is you can put solar panels on top and then make sure that you put also the lines for the bulbs so that maybe solar panel can be used for lighting bulbs. Okay, those are the two answers you can also give. Okay, now let's go to question number E. Describe how one form of energy can be changed into another. Okay, so here we can say that one, we can say, I've talked about bulbs so much, so we can even use bulbs. We can say electrical 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 energy electrical energy, okay, converted into light energy by the bulb. Okay, so this is what happens when you switch on the bulb. What is happening is the electric energy is being converted into light energy. Okay, then the other one is when we switch a radio, let me say when you play your home theater, what is happening there is also electric energy is converted, electrical electrical energy into converted into sound 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 energy by the radio or home theater. Okay, then we can also say that we can also change kinetic energy kinetic energy into be converted into electrical energy by turbines. Okay, that's a power at turbines at the power station. Turbines at the